Guys, welcome back. I'm going to get straight into it. Stranger Things Season 5 is aweless. No, not auraless. We're serious business on this channel. Yeah, I just wanted to jump on and talk quickly about the new season of Stranger Things. Drop it on Netflix, final season. And big disclaimer, I've only seen the first part. What was the first part? Like 4 episodes? But the truth is, guys, I can't be bothered to watch it. Like a really good show that I've watched 4 1/3 seasons of. I just can't be asked to put the time commitment in, and that's sad. And that's also interests me that, like, why do I have no motivation to watch literally the most popular show, like, in recent memory? It's like the biggest show right now on TV, and I just have no interest to watch it. And I've been thinking about it, and I think it's to do with this idea of a loss of awe that is coming from these newer shows and newer films. And I just kind of wanted to get on here and talk about it, and talk about Stranger Things season 5. Just get a conversation going and see if you guys agree, whether it let me know if it is actually worth watching and not just moaning about on YouTube. But that's my favorite thing to do. I'd rather moan about it than actually watch it. But disclaimer, I've not seen it all the way through, but I'm dang well can guess how this thing ends or what's going to happen. And yeah, it's weird because I really quite enjoyed season 4. I think Vecna Mayakna is a cool villain, and the first few episodes of season 5 were okay, but I think they just had this huge aweless problem that just completely put me off going into it. But just talking about awe in general, there's lots of studies, and I've kind of noticed it in my own life, that awe is a big part of human happiness. And I think we get a lot of awe, like being awestruck from films. When you sat there in the cinema and your eyes wide and you just can't believe what you're watching, the hair stand up on your neck. And it really is linked to human joy. And a really good video, shout out Max Joseph, really enjoyed this series he did on happiness. But he has a whole specific episode about awe itself, and how injecting little bits of awe into your day can reach consistent happiness in a lot of very happy cultures and societies, especially those Scandi fools up north. I don't know what they're smoking up there, but those guys love life. Just being awestruck. And when you watch an amazing film for the first time, Mighty Supreme is a good example. I recently watched that and it was so good. It was so much fun, and I'm still living off that buzz now. But because I was so awestruck, I was like, I can't believe what I'm watching. This is so unbelievably exciting and interesting, and what's going to happen next? You're suspended by the abilities of humans to make art beyond your comprehension. And I think that's such an important thing in film and TV. And Stranger Things, the worst bit is that they've done it before. Was this season 3 or 4? I don't know. I'm not a Stranger Things expert. They've been dragging this thing on, man. It's been 10 years or whatever, but this whole running up that hill scene, I think, is the best example from Stranger Things of that was so exciting and awe-inspiring that you were watching that and you heard the Kate Bush song, and it was all this stuff was blowing up and it looked visually crazy. And you probably left that episode feeling and wanting to talk about it with people, and you still probably think about it every now and then when you hear that synth playing. And that's a great example of what film and TV should be aiming for, right? Is that awe, that larger than life, out of body experience, if you pardon the pun, with this image I've chosen. But Stranger Things season 5, the first couple of episodes or whatever, the first drop that came at the start of December was there's no awe, because the characters spend 90% of the show explaining the plot. They're just talking to each other about the plan they're making. They're like, oh, I'm going to do this. And then, oh, but what about this? And then it's just they explain what every character is about to do, how it's going to happen, and the stakes. So they'll be like, Will will be like, I'm going to jump in front, but if I miss that shot, then the whole thing's going to fail. And then what will happen is the sequence will then proceed to play, but you know exactly what's going to happen and the stakes of each move that it's happening in, if you know what I mean. Will say, oh, if I miss this shot of the Demogorgon's ass, if I don't slap his ass at the perfect angle, then he ain't going to get horned up. And it's he then will hit the perfect backhand, and you'll be like, oh, brilliant. I knew exactly what was going to happen. And I knew exactly, there was no awe there. There was no wonder. There was no like complete detachment from reality, because the way they explain it when they're talking to each other and interrupting each other over and over again, you know exactly what's going to happen, and you know exactly the stakes are going to be so high that you know he's not going to miss that perfect backhand on the Demogorgon's cheeks. So it's just like, who cares, bro? Like, don't even play the scene. Like, thanks. Like, I've got it. Like, I've pre-ordered it in my mind. There's no awe. So like, you watch it transpire, and you just like, they've already pre-explained everything. Just like, and it is that whole curse that everyone was worried about of the exposition of Netflix is like, oh, we want people who are washing up, who are doing the dishes, to be able to follow along at home, which, yeah, this is an unintended consequence. I mean, yeah, look, this scene here, when she's running through, you have no idea what's going on. It's just the song, everything is so epic. Whereas everything in this falls flat on its ass. I don't care. I might as well just listen to the new season as a podcast, because I'll get just as good as experience. And I just think it's really concerning, because if you're going to over-explain and over-pronounce, like, everything, then when it actually plays out in front of your eyes, you're not going to be filled with wonder and joy. You're going to be like, oh yeah, that's exactly what they said was going to happen has happened. You know, it's like if someone spoils the ending to a film and then you watch it, it never hits the same. Or if someone spoils the plot twist, it's the same thing. They're spoiling their own show before it even bloody happens. And yeah, I wanted to keep this video tight and just kind of get my raw thoughts across. But one thing I will say is I never made a video about this, but I annoyed every single person in my life about this warning I had with Across the Spider-Verse, and I'm seeing a lot of parallels. So Across the Spider-Verse, whatever, I didn't love the film, whatever. I said to people that were giving it, you know, Letterboxd 5 stars, Oscar, give it the Oscar. This was half a film, and there was no reason for it to be half a film. They were purposely longing the story out into different chunks to keep you coming back. They had one story that was a perfect 2-hour film, 2.5-hour film. It could have been one film, this Spider-Man. Well, how many films even is it? 3 or something ridiculous. I could see it. Like, they made literally half a film and then released it, and then you have to wait years until the next one. And I said to everyone, like, don't applaud this. Don't stand up and clap. Like, don't give a film 5 stars. You wouldn't watch half a film, turn it off, and be like, "That's a masterpiece, 5 stars." You know what I mean? Like, it's half of a product, and if we start settling for this, then every film will turn into this half a product kind of thing. You know what I mean? Every studios will know that they can keep getting people back, and will never get just a whole film. It'll be part 1 of everything. Mission Impossible, part 1. Why part 1? We don't need part 1. Do the whole thing in one go. That story is not warranting 6 bloody hours. Stranger Things is the same. We don't need 20 hours of TV to wrap up the final season. The first 3 parts was like longing out so much. I was so bored. Like, yeah, it's just the same idea with this exposition. But yeah, essentially what I was saying back at when this came out was like, yeah, you can enjoy the film, but just don't overhype it too much, because if you let them get away with this, you give the studios, the big streamers, an inch, they'll take a mile. And now, from this film, it feels like every big blockbuster film is now in 10 parts. And it's just getting worse. Like, there is no just singular film that has a big budget anymore, it feels like. It's either a remake or it's a part 1. But with Stranger Things, I just wanted to just heed that same warning of, if we start calling this a masterpiece with all of this exposition and not, like, put our foot down, that we don't want the entire plot explained every single bloody second, that's just how all shows and films are going to be from now on, and we're going to lose the awe of big blockbuster films. It's not going to hit that, like, scene in Avengers where, you know, they all come out the portal and stuff, and it's like kids backflipping in the cinema. That will be ruined if that came out today. It would be like, oh, we'll open up the portals and then all of these come out and then we'll know we'll be able to beat Thanos. It's like, yeah, it would have already ruined all of that complete suspension from reality. I've almost moaned for 10 damn minutes, but Yeah, drop in the comments if you agree or if you know what I'm talking about. I might try and watch the rest of Stranger Things and see if this plays out. This over explaining, this over spoon feeding of the audience, but I kind of don't want to watch it as like a little dirty protest to Netflix that like I'm not gonna put up for this. Like I'm gonna hate on it. Yeah, let me know. Peace out, guys.